Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is 7:59 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. It's Monday, the 13th of February, 2023, and it's a brand new week. There's a lot going on and a lot of things that are upcoming. Tomorrow's a big day for City Council. The news on all the organizations that are receiving or applied for grant funds will be delivered tomorrow, so that's part of the news. And there's also a good article in the Beacon today, which I'm going to read to you guys here. Legislators introduce a resolution to honor victims of the Pratt mass shooting in Aurora as the fourth anniversary nears. The fourth anniversary of that is this Wednesday, which will be the 15th of February. And it was 2019 when the tragedy happened here locally. U.S. Rep. Bill Foster of Naperville introduced a resolution in the U.S. House of Representatives Thursday of last week to honor the victims of the deadly warehouse shooting at Henry Pratt Company in Aurora as the 4-year anniversary of the tragic incident nears. 5 employees were killed and 5 police officers and an employee were wounded on February 15th of 2019 after an angry co-worker opened fire during a termination meeting inside the Pratt warehouse. An additional officer was injured as he entered the building. According to Congressman Bill Foster, quote, "It's hard to believe it has been nearly 4 years since this tragedy, and our hearts go out to the victims, friends, and families during this difficult time of remembrance. I'm proud to introduce this resolution to honor the victims' memories and the courage of the police officers who rushed into danger to protect innocent people, 6 of whom were injured in the shooting. We cannot forget the events of that day, and we must remain committed to putting an end to these tragedies once and for all," close quote. The resolution honors the 5 victims who died that day: Russell Byer, Vicente Juarez, Clay Parks, Josh Pinkard, and Trevor Warner. It also honors the service of the injured officers: Adam Miller, Marco Gomez, John Cebulski, James Zigar, Reynaldo Rivera, and Diego Avila. The resolution is co-sponsored by the Illinois Democratic House Delegation, Reps. Lauren Underwood, Sean Caston, Danny Davis, Robin Kelly, Brad Schneider, Mike Quigley, Raja Krishnamurthy, Jan Schakowsky, Jesus Chuy Garcia, Nikki Budzinski, Jonathan Jackson, Delia Ramirez, and Eric Sorensen. The Aurora Historical Society opened its exhibit to honor the victims of the Pratt mass shooting just last week. Through February 18th, the 5 white crosses made to honor the victims of the shooting by late Aurora resident Greg Zanis are on display, along with the Society's collection of memorabilia left at the Pratt site by mourners. The exhibit is open from noon to 4 p.m. Wednesdays to Fridays and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays at the David L. Pierce Art and History Museum, 20 East Downer Place in downtown Aurora. The time is 8:03 a.m. Saul Olivas, good morning. Alejandro Moscote, good morning. Anthony Ortiz, right back at you, my brother. Good to see all of you guys here this morning. Gabriel, how you doing?
I'm feeling great. Just back from the weekend, so it was really a relaxing one.
Good. Glad to hear it, you guys. I was gonna leave you. I thought I'd do the first 10 minutes, kind of a little different way. So my dad's funeral is this Saturday, and I have to tell you that it's really it's a tough process. It really is. And I've found I was thinking about this real deep over this weekend here, but so a couple things going on. Trying to wrap up some legal wranglings and what have you, and that requires a lawyer who requires a retention fee, and dealing with all these places and banks and this and that and other, and I have to, in some cases, I have to wait for an email to come, and then that gets verified, or I got to wait for a phone call back, leave a voicemail this, and leave a voicemail back, and I must tell you that all of this is draining me, and I've realized that, like, I'm coming out of these interactions feeling less than. It's draining me. And I remember something my dad told me when I was a kid. He told me that I had to be complaining about something. He told me that that's not a problem. He said a problem is something that money can't solve. A problem is something money can't solve. And when he told me that, that stuck with me really powerful, because I thought, wow, what kind of problem could it be that money couldn't solve? Now I have that problem. Like, there's just this void, and I find myself coming out of every interaction less than. I can feel it. My cup is empty. The other day I had this interview. Well, not this interview, but anyway, I had this lady from the bank was supposed to call me, and I was really hungry, so I was cooking, and so she calls, and we're talking, and they start asking you about your stuff and my dad and this and that and the other and time of death and all this other kind of stuff. And when it was all over, when the 6-minute phone call was over, I couldn't even eat. Like, just my appetite was gone. Everything was gone. And I realized that's what's going on. Like, each one of these interactions leaves me less than. And it's because I think there's nothing that I can do, which I knew this. Like, there's nothing to assuage. There's nothing to fill the void and the gap. The wins aren't even the same. Oh, Mr. Spivey, well, we got the information right here. Thank you very much. Boom, boom. The little red box turns green. So it's all good, but it's like, it's not, because there's nothing that I could do to bring my dad back. And I really feel like just the world is just a much smaller and more confined place. So here's what's become more of a poignant, how could I say, a poignant revelation. Like, I already took my job very seriously, and I already knew that what I was doing was important. But now I it sticks with me a little bit more. I deal with people who are in perhaps the very worst situation that they could ever be in. Every day of my life, I talk to somebody who is in probably the worst point of their life. Just got the 5-day notice, so now you're being evicted. Just lost your job, you're behind on your mortgage, or you have 3 kids and you're living at the Howard Johnson. I meet people all the time who are in the worst part of their lives. And I took that seriously before. But now, with everything that I'm going through, like, now I think I found a kind of, like, not an admiration, but I found like a redoubling of the purpose. Like, it matters to me even more than it already did. Because I think for me, for example, like, I know that the person I'm talking to, like, I know that, for example, the bank is only going to be open Monday through Friday, 8 to whatever it is. So I'm not going to get any help on a Saturday or a Sunday. But yet, for all the people who we come in contact with, or I come in contact with, who need help on mortgage assistance or rent assistance or English for second language courses so you can start learning what they're talking about in your rent assistance class, like, these people call me on a Saturday or a Sunday. Because even though I don't work for IDHS or IDA, they know that I'll pick up. And the fact that somebody will pick up makes them just not care what I told them the day before. They don't care about that. The fact that I don't have access to their PIN code, that went over their head. The fact that I don't have their Social Security, I don't know what your profile is. I can't get in. If you get approved for mortgage assistance, that approval is not going to come to me. These people don't care about any of that. If they go 24 hours with no response and they're still in the worst place of their lives, they're going to reach out. Hey, Mr. Curtis, any word on my application? Because there's somebody for them to talk to. That's the thing. They got somebody to talk to. Even if they're told the same thing over and over again. Nah, sir, we're still waiting. Nah, sir, we'll find back Monday. As long as they got somebody to talk to. But for me, I think since I realized that there is nobody to talk to, and if I call, the lady in the customer service department is only going to transfer me to 020. There is nobody for me to talk to, and I understand that. And I think that's kind of how, that's how I feel like saran wrap in a way, right? I feel like just a covering that people put over their Salisbury steak, just to put it in the microwave, heat it up, and then try it again. And if that's what it takes for people to get through their day, I guess I'm glad to be that. Because nowadays, I see it even more now. I see it now. That's the reason why. It doesn't matter if the answer is yes or no. They just want somebody to pick up the phone. And I see now what my dad meant. Because there's no amount of money that's going to be able to lift me out of the anguish and the pain that I feel. There's not an amount of anything. There's no money. There is nothing that could happen that could be such a light bulb switch, such a flick of the fingers that could make everything okay. And I realized that for a lot of people in the worst point of their lives, that's what they're looking for. That's what they want. It doesn't have to be pretty. They just want something that can just make it better. And that's why they call me at 8 o'clock at night. Just to hear the same no I gave them at 8 o'clock in the morning, because it's somebody at least who they can talk to. And in a strange way, that is making me a little more resilient. It really is. It really is. Because I can take the bad news. But for a lot of these people, they can't take the bad news. So they're looking for a way just to make the news less bad than it is. So I'd say all that to say that I hope that all of you listeners out there will continue to be helpful people to other people, to continue to look out for somebody. Just make their day a little bit. It's not going to be great. but you don't have to make anybody's day worse. I think that's the big lesson that this has started to teach me, because nothing is really good for me anymore, especially in the morning times. It's the really worst part of this whole thing. Like, it's the crushing sadness of it all. It's the depressing weight of being able to actually physically touch the futility of life that, to me, is draining, but allows me to see the impact of what we as a community do, on a day-to-day basis for each other. So I say that to say that for all of the people out there who think you have a problem, or me and my boyfriend broke up, or I applied for the job but I didn't get it. You don't have a problem until you have a problem that money cannot solve. And I hope none of you ever get to a point where you have a problem that money can't even solve. The time is 8:15 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second. Scratch it up and take me to a commercial. I just messed all it up. Sip it up.
For those of our viewers who are new, when we sip it up, we sip it up. So everyone take a drink.
All right, let's try this. Let's try that again. Good morning to all of you great people you're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Chris Kopiek is here. Good morning to you, Chris. Wendy Connell, good morning to you, Wendy. Saul Olivas, yes, it's a lot of work, man. Michael Rayford, good morning, Super Bowl fans. The sun is shining and it feels good. Josue Pais, Scott Hayes, Gloria Gerardo, and Wendy says grief hits in so many ways and sneaks up on you. It's good that you can express that. Thank you, Wendy. I really appreciate that very much. We are, we're trying to realize that, life goes on, man. Life goes on.
Yeah.
All right, I have very important information for you guys. So I just gave you the news about the Henry Pratt resolution that's coming up. Once again, 20 East Downer Place is where you can find the David O. Pierce Museum. Please go in there and take part. There's two quick pieces of news, and we'll get back to the show here. Senior Services Associates Incorporated. Are you in need of a gently used walker or shower bench? They may be able to help you. Visit their Aurora location Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or call, and they will be happy to assist you. 630-897-4035. The number again is 630-897-4035. Serving seniors today and you tomorrow. Items are available on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. The next piece of news that I had here, Gabriel, do me a favor. There's news in there about the chili cook-off. While I'm looking for this, allow me to obfuscate, and you do the chili cook-off, and I'm going to come back.
Actually, the chili cook-off was last Saturday.
Was it? No, it's not. It's in March.
Oh, March. Oh, my gosh.
It's all good.
Yeah, you know what, y'all? Gotta scratch it up. I'm my bad. It was not last Saturday. I don't know where I got that information. You're right. It says March on the press release. See, y'all, we get the news hot, and sometimes we get it wrong too. So, Saturday, March 11th, from noon to 3 p.m. will be the chili cook-off happening at Java Plus. That is 1677 Montgomery Road. Competitors must complete an application plus a $20 fee for entry. For customers, there's a $5 fee, and that includes sampling all of the tasty submissions. All applications must be completed and submitted by March 1st. So that's March 1st, not February 1st like I thought. So make sure you put that on your calendar. That is Saturday, March 11th. And for more information or to receive an application, you can call 331-212-6665. Again, that number is 331-212-6665.
All right. Good job. Oh, there's a more?
There's more news. We could go a couple more.
No, let me give
news
these quality of life grants for these great people. Thank you very much. No, we're going to get back to the news, actually, because there's a couple things in there that I do want you to mention to these people. The time is 8:19 a.m. So here's the thing. I was, which I did find, you guys. So my printer this morning, of course, right? Because what else? What else could you possibly need? What else would what else could you add to the hamburger of disaster that's going on? Oh, let's make the printer not work, even though y'all just put in new toner. So anyway, I have to read this on my phone, which would make Mike Wallace turn over in his grave, but you'll forgive me, Mr. Wallace. The Aurora City Council appears ready to approve more than $1 million in quality of life grants on Tuesday night for social service agencies in the city. City Council members meeting as a committee of the whole had no comment after reviewing the grants on February 7th. They are given out to social service agencies once a year, funded mostly by gaming tax revenue from Hollywood casino Aurora. This year's awards are about $100,000 more than were given out last year. Quality of life grants are given to organizations that provide for Aurora citizens in the areas of basic needs, community, education, and youth, mental health, museums, and services for seniors. The time is 8:20. In total, 41 out of 50 grant requests would receive some kind of funding, totaling $1.5 million. There was about $1.75 million requested in grant funding. The specific grants that may be awarded include $25,000 to Fox Valley United Way for Spark, which is an early childhood program, $5,000 to the Indian Prairie Educational Foundation for the Kids Essentials program, $20,000 to Loaven Fishes for emergency assistance, $25,000 to the Marie Wilkinson's Food Pantry for the community growing food needs, and $20,000 to the YWCA for the Early Childhood Emergency Fund project. All of those were in the category labeled as basic needs. Now, just last week, we did talk about this. Gabriel and I kind of kicked this football back between ourselves, but the point of that, if you recall, was that the fact that these were designated basic needs is a good thing. I don't know who needs to hear that, right? But whoever's in charge of categorizing what things are, basic needs, Spark, YWCA, Marie Wilkinson's Food Pantry, Educational Foundation for the Kids Essentials Program. Yeah, that should definitely be a basic need.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing. But
yeah, I think it's really, really good. And I mean, especially all these are programs that deal with education, childcare, and also food. So those are all programs that are essential to people being able to develop, being able to learn, being able to create a more equitable community. And I know especially Mayor Wilkinson, I've had the pleasure of volunteering with them for many years now. Mm-hmm. And the work they do is really important. Along with, all the other food pantries here in Aurora, like there are communities that really need it. And especially with, the growing cost of things like eggs. I could not believe eggs were like $5 a dozen. I was like, yeah, That's like 50 cents an egg. Like it's just crazy for me, to think about that.
Yeah. And with the, so Aurora's growing as a city, the needs are growing. Oh, yeah. I had an interesting conversation with a young man just last week who, I say an interesting conversation because he was under the impression that for a lot of his criticism was, I think it was under the impression that there hadn't been a pandemic for the last 2 years. Oh, and I think that I think it's good to remind ourselves. I think that society's moving a little bit too fast now, and we've started to forget that. I think a lot of people need to remind themselves that not everybody came out of the pandemic okay, or the way that they went into it, especially for businesses too. But with that being said, the basic needs of this community should be or consistently be thought of as educational, youth-related, and health-related. All running the gamut of health, whether it's mental health, or what have you. So I'm glad that we see those as basic needs. I did want to say that whoever is in charge of making them, whoever put them in the basic needs box, well done, because we can't just be having normal, like, this is an emergency that we're in collectively as a people. Jonathan Rosenthal is here. Good morning to you, Jonathan Rosenthal. Scott Hayes, good morning to you too. And no, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I'm not a sports fan. I saw this morning that the Broncos won. Who was it?
What? No, it was the Broncos. I actually not familiar with that team. It was actually the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
And who won?
It was the Kansas City Chiefs. So, see, they timed it just right. So, basically what happened is the Eagles were, like, in the lead for most of the game. Like, it's like I think it was the bottom of the third quarter, and, like, they were still, like, doing it, right? And then, like, right in the fourth quarter, like, last part of the game, you got, like, the last couple minutes, the Kansas City Chiefs just went in and they scored, so it was like 35-38. It was crazy how close they were.
Wow.
I mean, they're pretty good teams. I'm just saying, like, I was cheering for the Eagles. I know, but I mean, I was born in Pennsylvania, so I kind of gotta love my local team.
Good morning to you, Aurora. I hope you had a nice weekend. Have a blessed day today. Amen. Glory Gerardo, thank you. Aisha Saxon, good morning to you. Dora Sanchez Soto says, I agree with Wendy. It's your form of grieving. I've had many worst parts of my life cycles. Reach into your faith to stay above it. Yeah, I am. I tell you that. I will tell you that. I am, boy. I am. You know, it is, you know what I'm happy about, though? Dora Sanchez Soto, like I'm speaking direct. I'm happy my dad got to see Good Morning Aurora. I am. I'm glad he got to see it grow. I'm glad he got to see it birthed. I really am. I'll tell you this, though, too. This now has become like my therapy. You know, I was already doing it before. I already was. So for you guys who know me, that may not sound particularly special to you, but no, it definitely has become my therapy in a way to grieve, I think, in my own way. So Juan Cifuentes, good morning. Aurelia Swan, good morning to you as well. Michael Rafer says, you better find your inner strength quick because it cannot let their energy take over your state of mind. Smile. I appreciate that, man. Yo, you know what? Thank you very much for that, Michael Rafer. I appreciate that, man. I do. It's been hard getting back on my horse, but
yeah,
the show must go on. Information here for you guys about Career Accelerator grants. Quad County Urban League and our dear friends of the Aurora Regional Chamber of Commerce were on the show recently. Shout out to Jessica Linder Gallo and Katrina Henderson. The Quad County Urban League has a great program for youth. It's called Career Accelerator. Youth can come there, learn various skills within the areas of manufacturing and healthcare particularly, and they get trained. ComEd sponsors for example, ComEd will sponsor their classes. They go through their apprenticeship program, and then should they become a ComEd employee, they are fast-tracked. They've got certifications, all kinds of good stuff. This is open to area high school students, so West Aurora and East Aurora, but the program has predominantly done great things with East Side Aurora students. East Side Aurora students have made up the bulk of graduates out of the Quad County Urban Leagues program. So get to know that. Take me to a commercial real quick because I've got information about our friends of the League of Women Voters. The League of Women Voters is a fantastic organization here in Aurora, and they are dear friends of ours on this show. One of the things that you will notice about Good Morning Aurora, if you've been listening since I've been listening, you know, is that we will do everything we can to give you the best information that is actionable. What does that mean? That means all you got to do is scan the QR code or click the link that we're telling you about, and you will be able to take part, to contribute, to add to. Because that's what it's about. It's about adding to things, not subtracting. right? It's about uplifting, not detracting, not taking away from. And local politics is one of those areas. Get ready for the candidate forums, which are coming up, sponsored by the League of Women Voters of the Aurora area. The Aurora School District 131 Board, candidate forum, for the school board. See, Scratch it up. See, this is, right? All right, let's try it again. Maybe it's me. Well, no, it's both of us. It's me reading this, and it's like how this was written.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all like, it's long as hell. People can't read it, though.
Yes.
When I post this, you guys going to see like, ooh, that is a humdinger, Curtis. So this District 131 School Board Candidate Forum is March 7th at 6 p.m. The Ward 3 and Alderman at Large Candidate Forum is March 8th at 6 p.m. And the Ward 5, 6, and 8 candidate forums are March 8th at 8 p.m. Okay. All forums will be via Zoom and live streamed on the League of Women Voters of the Aurora area Facebook page. There's also a QR code that's embedded in this flyer. I have the flyer. I will post the flyer later on for you guys so that you can take part in it and get to know these candidates who are running. If you are a local Auroran in whatever ward you're in, I implore you, indeed we encourage you, to get to know who the candidates are, what they're running for, and the platforms that they're running on. The 6th Ward Aldermanic Candidate Forum was last week. That had candidates Mullins, Markham, Harrington, and incumbent Seville on the board. So take a look at that video if you are so inclined. The time is 8:31 a.m. Gabriel, take us to a commercial. Give us like 2 pieces of news, and one of those pieces of news, if I'm not mistaken, young man, it should be Neighbor Project court-based rental assistance.
Yes, I will. And we're looking that up right now. Okay, so our friends of the Neighbor Project will be holding a great series of workshops this year with 3 special events happening soon. The next one, this is happening this week, will be Thursday, February 16th. It's titled Saving Up for a Home Purchase. This workshop will cover different ways to save, types of income, budget building, and much more. It will also detail realistic expectations, such as what one may be able to afford. Lastly, Thursday, March 19th workshop is titled, Are You Ready for the Pre-Approval Process? In this workshop, we will recap previous workshops, types of documents required considering debt-to-income ratios, and information on the Neighbor Project home buyer education programs. All events will take place at the downtown Santori branch of the Aurora Public Library and will begin at 6 p.m. For more information, call the Neighbor Project at 630-906-9400. Again, that number is 630-906-9400 for any questions you may have. Now we got our court-based rental assistance is still available for those in a court eviction proceeding due to non-payment. The non-payment is conditioned on financial hardship due to the pandemic. Eligible applicants may qualify for up to $25,000 in emergency rental payments. This program is open to anyone in the state and is not conditioned by county. The deadline for the applications is June 2023, so you still have a couple months, but please hurry up. So make sure you are not hitting that deadline. June is the deadline. It is not the time you want to be submitting those papers.
All right, the time is 8:33 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Matt Hansen for state representative is here. Matt, what is up? You got to change your name. It's not Matt Hansen for state rep no more. It's Matt Hansen is state rep, right? We don't have a clap button anymore, but when we get one, Matt, I'll clap for you, brother. Matt Hansen's a great guy. He's also a blue-collar union dude, too. Matt Hansen, let me tell you about Matt Hansen now. He's a good brother, man. Get to know Matt Hansen. Dear friend, really out there working for the people, sticking up for the folks, man. And True blue all the way, man. Matt, I appreciate you very much. Matt Hansen's given me a lot of good advice in the short little bit of time I've known him. I think I've known him for like maybe a year or two, if that. But in a little bit of time I've known Matt Hansen, man, he's been a really good stand-up brother, and he gives a damn too. So, Matt, I appreciate you for listening every single day, dude, and I appreciate seeing you and have the opportunity to see you and talk to you just the other night at our meeting, man. I wish you very much good things. Victoria Hala Maldonado is here. Good morning to you, Victoria. She's a great author. Get to know her and all of her fantastic books, some of which are here Elysian Fields over there in our studio. We got a lot of Victoria Hala Maldonado stuff around here. Okay, couple of things. Your action plan and making it happen. Here's something that's coming up on this Saturday, actually, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's called The Road to Home. It's taking place at the Cottonseed Creative Exchange, located at 64 South Broadway, right downtown. Evaluating your finances, budgeting, the pros of home ownership, credit analysis and credit repair, debt utilization. All of these things will be talked about at the workshop. This is brought to us by Duarte Realty Company, the Neighbor Project, and the City of Aurora's Financial Empowerment Center. For those of you who are unaware, the City of Aurora Financial Empowerment Center is also our satellite location here at our studios, 712 South River Street. It's right around the corner from Hesed House. That's important because the City of Aurora has financial coaching and literacy classes that take place at that location. And the Neighbor Project, we administer those classes for folks for free in over 150 languages. So if you or someone you know has any questions about finances or home ownership, the Neighbor Project, in conjunction with the City of Aurora's Financial Empowerment Center, can help you. You can send a message to Good Morning Aurora, Neighbor Project. You can send a message to Santa Claus. All you got to do is just reach out, and we will definitely connect you and put you in touch with my fantastic colleagues who work there. Valeria works there, and this dude right here who looks like George Lopez's little brother, Francisco Robinson. He's a dear friend of mine, good brother too. He's a great counselor. You can get to know him, and he will connect you. And I'll tell you this about what we're doing there. You know, I myself am taking part in all the things I tell you about. In all the things we talk about on the show, myself, Gabriel, or the rest of the team, like, we actually, like, we're there, man. We're there. We're either doing it, or we did it, or we're trying it, or we signed up too. So the continuity between people and what they hear with Good Morning Aurora, we're that's the purpose. We're supposed to be connected. You should be able to do that. That's how I've always felt. There should be no barriers to your connection. So when you guys hear about the stuff that's going on here, just know that either Curtis will be there, or he was there, or he's coming there, or he posted it, or something. We are involved in it in some way, shape, or form.
Yep. Yeah, we're always here, always popping up at community events. So if you have a community event going on, always please make sure to email us that information, because we love to share it on the news. We're all local, and we live in this community, so we love to attend different events. I mean, you'll see us popping up anywhere and everywhere. We've been to First Fridays. We actually have a YouTube video out about our experience doing the Cocoa Crawl. It was in December. So if you are not following our YouTube channel, and you can hear the sound of my voice, you better go follow our YouTube channel, because we have YouTube exclusives.
That's right. Tracy Duran is here. Good morning, Tracy. Maria Chirito is here. Good morning to you, Maria Chirito, as well. Josie Mendoza Geller is here. Good morning. What a beautiful Monday. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Josie. Josie is another person who's a very dear friend of ours, and we appreciate Josie very much. Get to know Josie Mendoza Geller. She's involved in the community in many different aspects, most chiefly in the AEEF, which is the Aurora East Educational Foundation. Chris Kopiak is here. I want to say good morning to Chris Kopiak, and I want to say good morning to Q101, the entire team of Q101. I'm going to use the moment to plug in Q101 because, and this is something that's been coming back around to me since my dad passed. I'm old enough to remember when like Nirvana came out, like when it was the new band.
Wait, when did Nirvana come out? I'm dating myself here, but I don't know when they came
like
out.
10 years before you were born.
Oh, okay. That's
I remember when I remember when 9 Inch Nails came out. I remember when so much new music was coming out, and I remember Q101, Chicago's rock alternative. I only listened to 3 radio stations as a kid: 103.5 The Blaze, Q101, and V103. And in the time that I'm at right now, personally, with my emotional health in the bilge, it has been monumentally refreshing that Brett, for example, who's our mentee and the newest part of our team, Brett wears the Q101 shirt and all that, and the Q101 team of the squad and all these people. Like, these people are really nice, man, and these people are really cool, and it makes me happy as an individual because like it gives me something to augment my sadness with. So I appreciate the Q101 team for supporting Brett, chiefly for supporting Brett, who takes that energy that he gets, that good feeling that he has, and brings it to our show. That helps a lot, man. So I appreciate Chris Kopiak is his name. He's in the chat. Sorry to shout you out live on the air for all these humans, but you're part of the team, baby, so welcome to the family. Josue Pais says, love you, brother. Always here for you. My condolences to you. I appreciate that, Josue. I got to get at you, man. Caesar Covarrubias is here. Get to know our dear friends of Service Plus, Heating and Cooling. They were on the show
last
on
Friday.
That was a good episode, man. Good to meet you, Caesar. Good to meet you guys. All right. The next thing I got to tell you guys about is a couple of things for the 2023 lineup here happening in downtown Aurora. This is a big week, though, so stay tuned. Remember, scratch it up. Tune in to the city council meeting tomorrow. That's your homework. I don't want to hear it. Curtis, what happened on what? No. Tune in to the city council meeting tomorrow. All right, Aurora Downtown has announced their lineup of events that are taking place this year. First Fridays is in its 10th year. Holy cow. The very first Friday just happened. The next one is coming next month, so stay tuned for that. But with all the events that are taking place downtown, Water Street Mall is going to be a happening location. There's also the Food Truck Festival, which will be taking place on all of Benton. Now, I think we're going to do something for the Food Truck Festival because, I mean, the Food Truck Festival happens right outside of Good Morning Aurora. It does. If you're on Benton Street, that's my street. You can't be too far away from us around here. So we are very close to you guys. So you guys, we might be out there with the camera catching you guys doing our thing.
Just stay tuned. Well, the food is always really good. I know every single time I've gone, like, there's always really good food. Like last time I went, there was like these really good empanadas. And oh my goodness, y'all, I was in heaven. It was so good.
Now, April 1st is going to be downtown Bunny at the Gazebo for Easter. You guys can come on out there, take pictures with the bunny, and then I think they'll also do a scavenger hunt or Easter egg hunt on and around where the gazebo is on Stolp Avenue in between Galena and Downer. So get ready for that. Those photos are downloadable, but just so that you know, Good Morning Aurora does not provide the photos. I got to clear this up. Last year, everybody hit up Good Morning Aurora looking for the photo. Hey, where's the photos of me and my kid? We didn't take them. So, I mean, hey, I would have loved to take the pictures of you and your family, but we didn't take the pictures of people's families. We're just the news, man. So, for the record, your photos will come from auroradowntown.org. You probably go to the website just like last year, and then it'll have all, and then you just click to download your picture when you find it. But for the record, Good Morning Aurora does not take pictures of, that's not us doing it. But it does feel kind of good that people want to know what's, anything goes wrong in the city, they come holler at us. Hey, what's going on with City Hall? I got to pay my parking ticket. Why you calling Good Morning Aurora for that? I mean, it's not like we got the clout just yet, right? Pastor Torres is here. Good morning to you, Pastor Torres. Mondo is here. Good morning to you, dear brother. And Matt, we said hi to Matt Hansen. Joe Jackson. Did I say hi to Joe Jackson yet?
I don't think so. I haven't heard about
Joe Jackson is our dear friend. He's the executive director of Hesed House. So shout out to Joe Jackson. He is our comrade in arms. Indeed, life is the Western Front. And Joe Jackson, Neighbor Project, and the Aurora Area Interfaith Food Pantry are in the same trench. Next thing I got to tell you guys about is the after-school programs taking place over there at the at-risk mentoring. They have a new center in the hometown neighborhood, 1002 Four Seasons Boulevard, grades 1st through 8th, Monday through Thursday, 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. Get out there, take your kids there. David Smith is a dear friend of the show as well. He's a great young man, and they're doing some wonderful things for the community. The flyer here says that you, in addition to all the things you get, homework, help, and mentoring, you also get an after-school snack. So there's that. There you go. Time is 8:45 a.m.
We were wondering if that was like one snack or if it was a couple snacks.
Right.
Like, do you get one goldfish or two?
J.L. Harris is here. Good morning to you, J.L. Harris. Araya Swan says photos are usually available on the Aurora Downtown Facebook page. Thank you very much for that, Araya. Araya, see, that's what we got right here. We got great people. Good morning, Aurora. Sending my blessings to all. Thank you very much, Pastor. We appreciate that. The time is 8:45 a.m. Gabriel, take us to a commercial and give us like 2 more pieces of news and then bring us right back.
So get connected to many different human services in King County with 211. Again, that number is 211. It's very simple. It's a 3-digit number. You don't have to remember all the other numbers. This is 211. This is a free service, is to get help and stay connected if you need assistance. This service is available in many languages. And when they say many languages, they do not mean 1 or 2 or maybe 10. They mean about 150 languages. So if you are in need of assistance, be it food assistance, be it housing, you can call this number. This is 211. And they will help you and provide assistance to you in a lot of languages. So this is very important. This is very important to us, especially Good Morning Aurora, because a lot of us work for non-for-profits, so we do really like helping and supporting the community, and it's very close and near and dear to our hearts. And Sunday, July 16th, this year will be an awesome and fun day. Our friends of the Harry Beast Dog Parlor are hosting their 5-year anniversary at 215 West Galena Boulevard. This will take place from noon to 5 p.m. and will feature food, lowriders, and other great cars, and of course, dogs. Come on out for a good time. Chicano's Times and A-Town Lowriders will be a part of the show. A-Town Bullies will be in the house, and GMA will be the master of ceremonies for the event. Save the date and come out for a fun community event. Again, this is one of the community events that we love participating in. Did we do this last year?
We did.
We did. How was that?
It was a good time.
I wasn't part of the show back then.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Time is 8:47 a.m. All right. And we're gonna end on, or rather, start to end on another place of remembrance. So recently, the community said goodbye to Aurora icon Mr. Fred Rogers. He passed away January 28th at the age of 77. The community's goodbye to him was held Friday over the weekend, last week, at St. John AME Church. It featured a gospel's worth praise from other Aurora leaders who experienced firsthand Mr. Rogers' unrelenting drive to leave this world a better place, especially for Aurora's struggling kids. The several hundred people who sat in the pews of AME's beautiful Cathedral of Grace heard other words: generosity, graciousness, humor, poise, unconditional love, to describe Mr. Rogers, who was the city's first director of youth services, who became a relentless champion on the front line for nearly a quarter century in the battle to help young people navigate challenging times. Those who gathered in the pews also heard scriptures quoted by pastors whose rousing orations carried the same spiritual message of hope and salvation as the choir that stood on the altar behind them. Mr. Rogers was a man who gave so much of himself to the children of Aurora. He would have been humbled by this celebration of his life. Certainly, he would have been honored by the declaration from Aurora Chief Communications and Equity Officer, Mr. Clayton Muhammad, that in addition to the East Aurora 131 Magnet School named after him, the sports festival he began decades ago will now include Fred Rogers' name. Perhaps Fred Rogers' proudest moment, however, would have been when Clayton Muhammad asked all those who, as kids, had been impacted by Fred Rogers over the years to stand. Many of the church or the service stood, and among those many rising to their feet was Raul Lopez, who had until that moment been sitting quietly in the pew of the cathedral, reflecting on his 53 years of life, which started going off the rails at age 6. And Mr. Lopez then, in this great article, details the impact that Fred Rogers had. And now, Mr. Lopez owns a Positive Image, a photography, video, and DJ company that has provided entertainment for big events in Aurora over the years, including Fiestas Patrias. Awesome. What a great legacy. All right, the time is 8:50 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. This week is a important week. We've got, as I mentioned before, we've got some interesting stuff taking place this week. Tomorrow, Buenos Dias Aurora has a absolutely fantastic interview coming up. We've got some great interviews, which are going to be taking place for Buenos Dias Aurora coming up. Good community stuff is going to be happening too. One of the things that you guys need to keep your eye out for is that the Aurora Public Library is going to have an impressive array of events taking place all this year. So from springtime, or rather beginning in springtime, there's going to be a great number of things taking place. Keep in touch with the Aurora Public Library downtown. You guys will see some really good stuff there. And if you see anything that's happening at the Aurora Public Library that you want us to shout out or can be a benefit to you and your family, feel free to send us an email to goodmorningaurora@gmail.com. You can also drop us a line here. A lot of the local groups in the city. Good morning to you, Karina Suarez Darden. She is here, dear friend of the show. A lot of the Aurora community groups we work closely with already. So you'll also see some of their great information flooding the airwaves here and hearing us tell you guys all about it. Good Morning Aurora turns 3 years old this year as well, so we'll be looking to get back with McCarty Mills this year and have a really fun time and a fun party for the community to come out and take part with us. But other than that, the news that's going to be taking place this year is going to be markedly different. There's a lot happening on the business front, but also on the social services front. Myself and others who are like-minded in the work that we do, we are keeping our eyes open for any initiatives that can help or augment the housing situation that is in Aurora. So for many people, many of my colleagues, we're working to help families either stay in their homes or get into a home. We're trying to reduce the population of folks who have to live at hotels, right? Just making it, just barely making it, just scratching by. We're trying to help those people get to that next rung on the ladder. And for the folks who are having a hard time in what they have, we're trying to make that time for them easier. If you want to be involved in any of this stuff that you hear us talking about, whether it's blood drives or if it's job job hiring events and things like that, again, you can send us an email. You can connect with us, get to know us. Anywhere that you see us, please send us a message, and we will endeavor to get back to you. Buenos Dias, Aurora has positions open, as does Good Morning Aurora as well. So if you or someone you know has any like-minded youth who are squared away and good, if they're involved in any youth activities already, if they're part of any clubs or associations, we'd like to have them on our team so we can square them away and continue to dig into the message that we have established already. And that is to make sure that media is fair, accessible, powerful, truthful, and sincere, and has an uplifting disposition about it as we carry on through our daily lives. The time is 8:54. Gabriel, did we forget anything?
Let's see. I think we've covered a lot of different topics today. We do have to. We should share the story of how we of some of the new things we're working on with the lighting here.
No, we should not.
Oh, we should.
No, we should not. No.
It was like, no.
No, we should not. No.
That was entertaining. We did learn how to change light bulbs, so.
You did.
I did. I did. Yeah. I mean, Curtis.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The reason why we're not going to tell them is that, if we go ahead and tell them, because remember, you took the thing out, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we got to get that replaced, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if you tell them and we don't get it replaced,
then our viewers are going to
be like,
so
it's going to be whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what happened to X? Remember, under promise, over deliver.
Yes,
right?
That's the quote of the day.
Don't tell
promise,
people.
Over deliver.
Don't tell them what they don't need to know. You know, what's that going to be, right? The cool thing about it is that none of these people even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's like, so y'all, we do have secrets live on the air. So if you're wondering what we do, you just gotta stay tuned. If anyone wants to interview though, you're always welcome to come on and we can show you a little bit about what we do.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah.
We just talked about probably the most, we talked about something very important. None of these people know what we're talking about.
No one knows how.
See, that's why you can't tell people.
Oh yeah,
Don't telegraph.
Got our secrets here.
Don't telegraph. Don't telegraph. Because what we need to do, in all fairness, is we need to rectify the issue that we have to continue producing quality entertainment and content.
Yes.
So that's our problem, right? That's laundry that we got to wash. Plus Tracy Duran and all them, they don't even know what's going on. But that's how we do. See?
Yep.
It's learning. That's why we need more young people to learn how to do this stuff. Right?
Oh, yeah. So if anyone is interested in those positions, you can always hit us up. We are on pretty much any social media site available, minus TikTok. We are looking at expanding into TikTok, though. We got a new it's a fairly new social media director. So shout outs to Alexa for the amazing work she's been doing.
Real quick, this Friday at 6:30 p.m., Trace Duran put this in the chat. Nicole Mullins and Matthew Orr, candidates for 6th Ward Alderman, will have a live Facebook discussion regarding the Northgate sign, and Tracy Duran put the link to that in the chat. Thank you very much for that, Tracy Duran. Jose says, Mr. Curtis, can I get info on the resource that lets us know about helping people getting a first home? I know you had a flyer about it. Yes, I do. Actually, that flyer is right here. I will make sure that I get you that after the end of the show, sir. All right, the time is 8:57 a.m. I hope that all of you great people have a beautiful week, a helpful week, a blessed week, and as stress-free of a week as possible. Puttin in the Work returns tomorrow with Brett Puttin here on Good Morning Aurora, and Buenos Dias Aurora returns tomorrow as well at 8 o'clock a.m. Other than that, have a great day, you guys, a peaceful day. Take care of yourself and each other.